save me some.
Hello my friends, how you doing today? I am doing well, and welcome back to my channel. Please do me a favor, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. It helps me out, okay? I'd greatly appreciate it. This video is inspired by one of my viewers, okay? I'm not gonna say what the viewer's name is, but let's just say it's somebody that really looks forward to seeing my channel on Fridays and Saturdays when I do my longer, expanded videos. But unfortunately, allergies. I got allergies. Unfortunately, I've been cutting down the videos a little bit on Fridays and Saturdays, so they're not like an hour long or half an hour long because the attention span. The deal is that YouTube only gives me money if people watch the entire video with the commercials. Besides that, I get absolutely nothing. And when you do watch the video with the entire commercials, it's pennies. You know, it's literally pennies. It takes forever to make any money on YouTube without sponsorship or anything like that. And I have none of that. I have no sponsorship. I have I got one supporter, and that's pretty much it. So the deal is that if you don't watch the whole video in its entirety and you don't watch the commercials and everything, then I get nothing. Okay, you lose, sir. You get nothing. So I've been trying to cut the videos down a little bit shorter so that way people will not click through, because there's a whole analytics thing that I go through, and I don't want to get into a whole bunch of detail because this is gonna be a long video. And this video is dedicated to my loyal subscribers, viewers that actually enjoy longer videos on Friday and Saturday. Listen, I post every single morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, and that kind of inspired this video right now. And this is a new video. I'm like freshly making this, editing this, and putting this up on the day of, because the video that I had planned for Friday itself was like a 14-minute long video, 11-minute long video, and I was like, you know, I always try to cater to my viewers. I want to give you what you want. So if I get a message from a viewer and they're like, oh, I can't wait for Friday to come, and I got like this little microscopic video going on there, and I'm like, you know, I wasn't satisfied with what I was about to post on Friday. I was like, you know what, this is a regular unboxing video. That's what it was. Effort went into it, hours went into editing it and recording it and everything, but it was an unboxing video, and I felt like the viewer was looking for more than that. So I was like, you know what, what else am I gonna do? You know, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna make a video, because this video right now I would like to dedicate to somebody that was near and dear to me, and like, listen, movies, music, toys, everything they listen, movies are memories, toys, nostalgia, things that happen in your life, they're memories. And when I buy things, they're my core memories, like from the movie Inside Out. You know, these are my core memories. When I touch them, I feel them. I get brought back to a happier time or a nostalgic time in my life, and that's why I buy physical media. That should be the reason why all of us buy physical media. Not only that, but to have control over what we can and cannot watch. We don't want the man, okay, the streaming service man, which I've noticed lately. My daughter came over the other day. She's like, Dad, my granddaughter's really enjoying Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but for some reason we have Netflix, and it just left Netflix, and she didn't have Hulu or whatever. I told her, I said, well, now it's on Hulu. I said that's what they do. They keep it on their channel for a while, and then I guess they sell it over to the other channel, you know, and it's a big profit thing. And if you guys really stopped and looked at the big picture of it all, I don't know what everybody's paying for Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, all of those streaming channels, which back in the day we had HBO, Cinemax, and Showtime, and that's all we had to choose from. And pretty much a lot of people went with the Cinemax and the HBO. Showtime was kind of like the what I say, Sprite of the group. I don't know. You people might like enjoy Sprite, but we got Coke, and we got Pepsi, and then we got Sprite. And if I got it in my refrigerator, I'm going for the Coke or the Pepsi. I don't know about you, but yeah, so the deal is that, yeah, that's what the streaming services seem to be doing. They like yank the movies that you love. So let's say my granddaughter's like in love with watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and all of a sudden it's gone, and my daughter wants to watch it. She can't watch it because they don't collect physical media like I do. So when she comes over and visits, I put it on the TV at my house, you know, and she's like, oh, I can go over to his house, and he's always got it. Yes, I got it because these are my core memories. I love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and even Wonka. You know, anything Willy Wonka related where I can go into a fantasy world of like that I think that I'm gonna be the good guy, and at the end, somebody's gonna hand me over to the factory because I found the golden ticket because I'm broke, and I happen to find a dollar or a 50-cent piece or whatever it is in the gutter. Listen, that's a dream come true, okay? And that's why movies are memories. Movies have, like, for an hour, 2 hours, you can escape reality. And listen, reality nowadays, I mean, I went to a church service last night, and that pastor up there, he was like, listen, the end is coming, and reality's not too good, and if you watch the news, you can get all wrapped up. Listen, I try not to watch the news because I don't want to get all wrapped up. I have a theory. Like, if I wake up in the morning and I'm still alive, thank you, okay? And if I don't wake up in the morning and I'm not alive, thank you, okay? That's what I got to say about that. You know, the bottom line is I hope I'm sleeping if something happens. And if I woke up today was a good day. But so let me get back to this. So yes, I want to thank this viewer for giving me a little bit of a reality check. Because I was like, you know what? I have everything all set up. The thumbnails all made. Now I'm going to have to edit this and put this all together, slap it together as fast as I can so I can give them that extra thing. But this has to do with people, okay? This is a video that I want to dedicate to people, to the fact that I actually care about what you say to me and what you comment. You know, you comment in the thing. I'm working on trying to go live. I'm still trying to figure it out, my friends. I'm trying to figure it out. I really wish that I had like friends and mentors or somebody that would. I've watched so many YouTube videos and none of them really get to the point. For some reason, you go on YouTube and you type in, you know, you want to go live, or how do you make extra money, or how do you do this on YouTube or whatever, and nobody wants to reveal the secret. I almost feel like I'm working with all the people I ever worked with in my life, where they give you just enough knowledge to keep you alive, but they don't want to give you the secret because if they feel like their job is in jeopardy. But in the YouTube world, okay, the deal is that they want you to watch their next video. So they get you to a certain point and they're like, this is how you're gonna do this, and this is how you can go live, and this is how you can make money going live, and you can get all these points, and people can give you smiley faces and tags and stickers and this, and watch my next video. And I'm like, you told me nothing. I just sat here for 45 minutes watching you, and I did not click through. I watched your commercials because out of respect, because I know what it's like. I did what, and you tricked me into trying to watch another video, but you're not gonna trick me because I'm not gonna watch your next video, because the next video is just gonna lead me to something. It's like going down a rabbit hole that just doesn't end. It's like some of these YouTubers, that's the day they clickbait the hell out of you. I'm not a clickbait guy. I give you whatever you see is what you get. This is the video is going to be about this. The video is going to be about this. And I hope that you enjoy it. And I would never leave you hanging. You know, even with my videos, sometimes they're too long because I want to give you the entire video. I don't want to be like, this is for part one and then wait till next week till part two. This isn't Batman. I don't want to do that. Next Bat channel, next Bat time. You know, no, you probably want to see the whole damn thing. So I'm going to give you the whole damn thing. All right, but if you get bored with it, then I guess what you have to do is stop and then go back again on a later day when you get, you know, feel a little more energized with it. I don't know what that does with my algorithm. I don't know what that does with my getting paid. I don't know what that does with anything. But a lot of it, like I said, this is about you guys. You know, this is about your enjoying things. I will tell you that also, me and the wife, we got to get back on the podcast kick. We haven't been doing the podcast last couple of weeks. She's been busy. I've been busy. I know. I mean, I'm gonna tell you what my side gig's been lately. Okay. Don't tell the kids. I've been Santa Claus, okay? Yeah, believe it or not, okay? I've been dressing up like I have the whole Santa Claus gear. I've been dressing up like Santa Claus to make $50 a gig to dress up like Santa Claus and take pictures with children. Okay, that's what I've been doing. That's my gig. Okay, that's besides doing this YouTube thing and making pennies, to still be in that family children setting where because I love being with children, but then the damn, you know, the world just not ready for people to actually care about people. You know, they want miserable people that are just out for a buck. I'm not out for a buck. I get $50 to go sit there and be Santa for a couple hours, whatever it is, bring joy to kids' faces. Matter of fact, I will tell you that we are in November, and usually around November, December, I will just dress up in my Santa Claus outfit. No joke. This is no joke. And you might think I'm absolutely crazy, and I've never get pulled over. Like no cop has ever stopped me yet, but I will walk around my neighborhood. You know, I'm not a big walker, but I will walk around my neighborhood and like people will blow their horn and kids will be yelling out the window at me. It brings me so much joy. It's like a highlight of my Christmas season. Okay, just to dress up like Santa Claus, and I'm not even interact. I'll wave at the cars, or I'll walk around. All I'm doing is getting my steps in and walking around the neighborhood dressed like Santa Claus. And so yeah, all of a sudden my daughter's like, I'm doing photo shoots and everything. Dad, I need you to do. Would you like to be Santa Claus? And I'm like, well, I do it for nothing. I'll do it. I'll do it to help pay the bills. You know, if I can get a little cut of what's going on, you know. So she's like, yeah, you be Santa Claus and you make a couple extra dollars. Listen, that's what listen, like I said, YouTube is my gig. And there's plenty of ways to help this channel out down in the description, okay? There's you can contribute things, or I'll even put my little Venmo thing over there if you want. Listen, if you send me $1, nobody has ever sent me $1 before. I put my Venmo thing up there. I got the stuff in the description. Nobody's even I have a regular sponsor guy that sends me something once a month. Okay, I get out usually. Listen, first of the month, it's there. And it does help the channel out. It's not a huge bit, but it helps. Believe me, every little bit helps. Like my wife always says, these things add up. But I put my Venmo thing up here. Okay, you have to, I think you put your phone against it or whatever. If I was to get $1 from somebody, that'd be pretty amazing. I haven't gotten $1 yet. Like even $1. Yeah, 50 cents. I'd be happy with 50 cents just to see if is it working. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So like I said, this episode is inspired by a viewer that is a constant viewer, subscriber, and I respect that person, and I tell you, I appreciate people. So when you do comment things and you want to see something different, or you're like, hey, listen, I can't wait to see Friday's episode, and I'm like, you know what? I'm giving you the 15 peso version. You know, like from Three Amigos there, you got the 20 peso version. I give you the 15 peso. You're getting the 15 peso version. I want to give you the 20 peso version because you deserve it.
We only have 10.
Okay, I give you the 10 peso version.
Okay, because you know, you reached out, because you asked it, because maybe you were having a bad week this week. Maybe this week was not a good week for you. This week was not a good week for me. Okay, I went to that service last night where the pastors all talking about how the world be ending, because I'm looking for something. I'm trying to fill my heart that's been emptied because I'm going through some stuff. So I will tell you that this collection is not only dedicated to my viewers, but is dedicated to my friend that passed away last year in a really bad motorcycle accident. Actually, got hit by an Amazon truck. And how ironic that is for me as the collector who gets Amazon deliveries pretty much daily or weekly or whatever, that I would lose my friend. He was riding home on his riding to work or riding home on his motorcycle, and he got hit by an Amazon truck, and he ended up dying within the week or so. I don't even know how long it was, but I will tell you, it was probably the only death in my entire life that affected me, because this was the only person that I could have, like real person that I could actually have a call when I was confused about something. Like the only friend I had that I could call when I was sad, or I just wanted to talk to somebody, or I just wanted to interact with somebody, like another human being. You know, like I do this channel and I interact through the comments, but you know, this guy was a boss. He was a boss from the company I used to work with a while ago. And I've had some terrible I I've had these horrific bosses in my life, and they just like rode me. I mean, I had one guy that was drunk every night, and he'd stand over me, and I had a kid on the way and everything, and he would tell me, "You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna listen." His eyes were all bloodshot red. He's like this, and he come in. He kept going like this. I don't know what this thing was, but this was him. And he's like, "Hey, you need this job, don't you? You know, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. Hey, you got a kid on the way. Hey, you got a kid on the way. Yeah. Hey, listen, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. Listen, I was working 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week, holidays and everything. I did it for a year. I made it. Okay. After a year, what happened was 9 months or so when my child was born. I told the guy I had to leave, and the guy's like, "You can't leave." And I'm like, "What do you mean I can't leave? My wife's in labor. I got to go." Listen. When I had my child, I took my wife to the hospital. I dropped her off at the door, and I came back to work. I'm like, that makes you an idiot, okay? That makes you an insensitive asshole, okay? And the fact that you left your wife giving birth to your child that you produced with her, and you left her at the door, and you went back to work so you could make $1 because all you care about is money, and you don't care about your wife or your kid. That makes me sick, okay? And literally right after that, I actually left. I walked out. I'm like, the hell with you. I walked out, took my wife to the hospital. We had the baby. I took 2 days off after that. I called them up, said, I'm taking 2 days off. My child was just born. I went back, they wrote me up, and then a few days after that, they fired me. So, yeah, this world's a messed up place. And so this supervisor I had, he was a real nice guy, and he was also a Christian. Okay, he classified himself as a Christian. I don't classify myself as having a religion. Okay, let me try to explain that a little bit quickly to you guys. I have a relationship with God. I have a relationship with somebody bigger than me, a being that's bigger than me, that's my best friend that I could talk to, you know, when I have nobody else to talk to, and that's my belief. Okay, that's what I believe in, because I feel like organized religions, like when you put a title on your religion or whatever, sometimes that causes conflict. Okay, usually that causes wars, usually that causes problems. So if people come up to you like, hey, what are you? You know, I'm Catholic, I'm Christian, I'm whatever it is. You know, it's a label. Okay, you got to have like some kind of moral beliefs and like live a moral life. Like I've been taking care of children my entire life. I've been helping people. I do this channel, try to help you guys out. I had a kids channel that I'm trying to get up and going. I'm trying to do a GoFundMe for that so I can get the kids channel going again, because I'm tired of the stuff that they're putting on YouTube for children nowadays. I'm tired of these dragon hunters and blippies and all of these people. To me, I don't know. I don't find it to be educational. I find it to be mind garbage. Okay, I want to bring back the Mr. Rogers feel of education on YouTube. Okay, that's what I want to look for. I'm looking for the electric company. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the PBS type stuff that actually teaches children things. Okay, without making it all cartoonish and crazy and everything. I want to bring back regular puppets, and I want to bring. Listen, I have a dream. Okay, and that's what my dream is. But right now, I need some money to make that dream happen. So I started up a GoFundMe and everything, and I'm trying to do what I got to do, because this YouTube thing right here is definitely, as of the last 3 months, right now in my algorithm and my checking my account thing, everything, I made $40. Okay, so think about this: 3 months of work. This is pretty much a 7-day a week job, where I'm recording, editing, or whatever, 7 days a week, days and nights, whenever I feel like I need to. And I put a lot of work into this, and I made $40 in 3 months. That's crazy. I really wish that YouTube would like pay you per like hour of people watching you. Like, let's say I had 400 and something hours of view time this week. I think I should get like $10 an hour. You know what I mean? Or what, like if you work like a real job, a minimum wage or whatever it is. You know what I mean? There should be a better way of doing things, but right now I'm hustling. This is a hustle. All right, I got a big collection to show you today, inspired by my friend, because I will tell you, he was a Christian. He saw me. I hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom when I was working at this job. I went from one bad job to another bad job, and the bosses were riding me, giving me a hard time. And he had come up to me, and he had given me this little pocket-sized Bible of the New Testament. And I didn't know what to do with it. I'm like, yeah, that's a Bible. You know what I mean? What's it? You know, you expect me to read? Okay, I don't like to read. I don't. And on top of that, it's a little tiny thing. It's about this big, fit in my pocket. You know what I mean? So he gave me this thing, and I was like, I hit rock bottom. And I've been listening to a couple of YouTubers lately, and they're allowed to say certain things. I'm gonna try to work around them so I don't get demonetized. Maybe these people don't get monetized. I don't know, but I know if I say things, sometimes YouTube demonetizes me. But let's just say that at one point in my life, I hit such a rock bottom in my life that I would actually climb up to the roof of this like big building. I worked in a sweatshop mill, you know, making camouflage material for the government, and it was a big mill. It had a big smokestack and everything like that. And I used to go up to the top of this roof after this guy gave me the Bible, and I would sit at the ledge of the roof. And I'm afraid of heights, so I would sit at the edge of the roof, and I would look over the edge, and I'd be like, I could read my Bible, or I could take it to the ledge. You know what I mean? I could take it over the edge. You know what I mean? It got really bad at one point in my life. Really bad. The finances were all messed up. Relationships were all messed up. Me and the wife weren't getting along because I was so bitter about the job I had. I was sleeping 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, working 12 to 16 hours, trying to get money for Christmas and everything. I was being verbally attacked. I had family problems. It was bad. It got really bad. And I was like, you know what? In your life, sometimes when you get pushed so far down, the only thing you could do is look up. You know what I mean? And that's where I found my spirituality. That's where I found my like, you know what I mean? I was like, I am so far down right now. If I don't sit there and read this thing, you know, I'm gonna do something stupid that I can't even regret later on. You know, so I got children. I got a wife. I gotta get my act together. And that's what I did. I got my act together. Thankfully, with the help of this man, who passed away last year. And his, ironically, is you know, if you understand the Christian beliefs and everything, I mean, they're against a lot of stuff. I mean, they like very like, it's got to be this way and that way and this way and this way, that way. But for some reason, he loved this music group. And I was already a fan, and he just promoted it even more to the fact where I was like watching every concert and listening to every song and everything. So I want to show you today, I don't know how I should present this or pick this up or whatever. I'll go like this. I'm going to show you today my Queen collection, my entire Queen CD collection and movie collection, concert collection, DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs, everything. I'm going to show you my entire collection, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Okay, just a little bit. You know, I'm not gonna go too crazy because it's a big collection. I've been collecting for a while, and I don't know if everything. I didn't bring out the figures. I actually have Freddie Mercury figures, but I couldn't find them because I haven't put them out yet. They're still in the boxes. So I didn't pull those out. I did put the Queen record out over here, which is actually not even mine. That one belongs to my son. Okay, I bought that for him for Christmas because I was like, you know what? Everybody should be listening to Queen at least once in their life, because Freddie Mercury, hands down, was to me was probably one of the best frontmen who ever lived. He was so charismatic. He was so like you could not take your eyes off of this man because you did not know what he was going to do next. And his voice was phenomenal. He had the absolute best singing voice. And I'm gonna get into a little bit of detail of what moved me towards Freddie Mercury and Queen for a while. Now I will tell you that as far as new Queen goes, I don't. There is no new Queen in this collection. I don't acknowledge new Queen as Queen. Okay, I'm sorry. No offense to the rest of the group, to you know, Brian May and everything. No offense to them, but when you lose a front man like Freddie Mercury, the replacement is like impossible. It's impossible. Listen, forever you will be looking up on that stage and be looking for Freddie, and he ain't there. He ain't there no more because he ain't with us no more. So it's like, yeah, you might have a guy that has a similar voice, but to me, that's karaoke theater. That's what that is. That's karaoke theater. And like, there's a lot of people that will debate me on that, but I'll tell you right now, you take Axl Rose out of Guns N' Roses, and you don't have Guns N' Roses no more. I'm sorry, you don't. No matter or the other guys, like the big guys, you know, like I'm trying to think of like Journey. I always throw that one out there because when they got rid of Steve Perry and they put the other guy in for Journey, the other guy, whoever the other guy is, I don't know what his name is. I'm like, that's not Journey no more. You know, that's just not it. You know, and the same thing with Van Halen and you know, David Lee Roth, and then you give me a Sammy Hagar. Listen, I didn't mind Sammy Hagar when he was solo, and when he got with Van Halen, I was like, okay, this is Sammy Hagar. Okay. With Van Halen on backup. That's what that was, okay? It was still Sammy, you know, it was still Sammy Hagar. You know, it was never Van Halen to me after that. It was the Sammy Hagar Van Halen band. That's what it was to me. Same thing with the Grateful Dead. Oh, and so many other groups that the lead singers either passed. Stone Temple Pilots, they tried to replace their lead singer. Who else do we have that was like, there was a couple of crazy ones that were like, Blink 182, they had a lead singer come in for them for a little bit. It just doesn't work to me. That's my personal opinion. Okay, Linkin Park, same thing. It's my personal opinion that you cannot replace some of these people because they are iconic. Freddie Mercury is an icon. I'm sorry, he is an icon. What am I apologizing for? You know he's an icon. You know they make movies about him. You know he's an icon. I mean, once Elton John passes, we don't know Elton John's band. Okay, I want you to comment below. Name me 3 members of Elton John's band. Listen, when Elton John dies, there's no more Elton John. Okay, nobody's gonna replace Elton John. Nobody's gonna replace these people, okay? Nobody replaced David Bowie. There was only one David Bowie. There's only one Elvis. There's only one John Lennon. They're not replaceable. You can't replace them. They're not like knickknacks or something that you might have broke, a glass you broke on your cabinet shelf or whatever. These are irreplaceable people because they have made an impact on our lives. If we loved Queen or we saw Queen when we were young, we were like, that's the Queen I remember. That's the Queen I want to see. I don't want to see this guy taking Freddie Mercury's place. That's not Freddie Mercury. I don't care if he dresses like him or tries to look like him or tries to sound like him. I don't care what he does. He will never be the man. Okay, so anyway, with that said, so this was inspired by my friend and by that viewer because I was like, you know what? I'm going to show off my Queen thing. Plus, every morning at 6 o'clock, I've made a whole ton of like Queen unboxing videos and stuff like that. So those are going to be the ones that are going to be coming up pretty soon because lately, I've just been reminiscing about that. I've been going through some stuff, and I'm like, I need somebody to talk to, okay? So everybody needs somebody to talk to. I got no insurance. Can't talk to a therapist no more. I got no. Listen, things are tough. Times are hard. Here's your effing Christmas card. Listen, with Christmas right around the corner, I'm really in trouble. I got grandchildren. I got children, and I got a wife. And I'm like, this is not going to be the Christmas that you guys think it's going to be, because I'm not looking towards monetary things anymore. I'm not looking towards the materialistic things in life anymore, because I'm starting to get older and I'm starting to realize that I got too much already. So I'm going to start showing off the things I got and get the occasional things that I feel like I need to add to the collection. I think that makes sense. All right, so first thing we have here is, actually, I shouldn't start with this. Because I believe that the first thing I ever bought was this. This is the Queen Greatest Hits box set. And if you look at here, it has Queen Greatest Hits 1 and Queen Greatest Hits 2, which if you have this, you have pretty much almost everything that you probably need if you are just a casual Queen fan, okay? And I would actually add this onto it. This was Queen's Greatest Hits Volume 3. If you have all of these, I mean, you got the big hits. You got Bohemian Rhapsody. You got another one, Bites of Dust. You got my eyes are going a little bit. Sorry, I don't know if I should go this way or that way. Okay, yeah. King Queens. Let me see. Fat Bottom Girl, Bicycle Race. You're My Best Friend. Don't Stop Me Now. Save Me. Let me see. Crazy Little Thing Called Love. I'm going back and forth. I'm not going to give you everything. Radio Gaga. I'm giving you like the ones that I absolutely love. I Want to Break Free. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, so yeah, you pretty much get the greatest hits, and you're probably getting everything that you would have ever heard on the radio on these two sets. So this one is what I started with, and then I bought this one just to finish it off because it's Queen's Greatest Hits Volume 3. And if you notice though, Freddie Mercury is missing from the cover of this Queen's Greatest Hits. I mean, I know that he's not really shown on the cover of these, but actually he is shown on the cover of this one right inside here, because that's the album. That's actually that album right there in this CD set. But yeah, for some reason you got Freddie Mercury in the background there, but it's like almost like a ghost, the ghost of Freddie Mercury. Like almost like, here's the band. This is what we have. So think about this. This is what we have left. And this is the man that we are, we are missing. This is the man that is not in the picture anymore. All right. So I started off with them. Then I went out and I bought this thing, which is called Queen 25. This is a box set, and what's in here is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Queen replica albums. Let me see if I can break these things out here like this. Show you a couple of them here, and what they are is the replicas of the records on CD. And you got Queen. I got Queen in here. Well, this is Queen, and then we got Queen 2. What else is in here? Queen 2. Yeah, my eyes. This is what happens when you get old. Heart Attack, Night at the Opera, Day at the Races. Which, if you guys don't know, Night at the Opera and Day at the Races are actually movies from the Marx Brothers. I'm pretty sure Freddie Mercury stole the titles from the Marx Brothers. I didn't do a lot of research on that, but the fact that A Night at the Opera and A Day at the Races are actually back-to-back movies by the Marx Brothers, I would say that Freddie was a little bit of a Marx Brothers fan. We have News of the World, Jazz, and the last one is The Game. Okay, and these are like replica albums. I'm going to pull out one that actually opens up just so I can kind of show you. Let's do this one because this is probably one of my favorite looking albums. Okay, News of the World. And it opens up like this. Okay, and if you go like that, you got that going on over there. But then you got the inside art, which this would have been like the replica of the record. Then you pull out the little sleeve thing here. And if I do this right, go this way. It does not have like the record replica of like the inside of the record. That's the one thing that is kind of lacking, where they do like those new box sets nowadays, and that's what it also has a book inside here, but I'm not going to bother on showing you the book. But yeah, I bought this thing next. It's velvet, and it is open. Okay, you guys had to give me a hard time about, oh, how come you didn't open? Listen, all I did is cut it over here so I could leave the plastic on so it doesn't get full of dust. If you didn't notice, it is kind of dusty. It's been over there for a while. This is all downloaded on my MP3 player, so once I have them downloaded, I don't really need to open them again, except to do videos like this. So yeah, this was a kind of a cool set back in the day when it came out, and I was like, okay, that's gives you the basics. You got all the big hits on there. That's the 20. What was that? The 25th anniversary of Queen. And then they started. I might as well get these out of the way. They started releasing these things. which are kind of cool because they come with these are 2 CD sets. So this is the first one, and then we have the second one. Oh, actually, no, I'm going wrong. This is the second one. Am I right? Nope, sorry. First one. Yeah, first one, second one, and third one. And I'm gonna pull out, let's say, the first, since I already showed you the first of the other stuff there. Let's go with this one right here. I'll grab. So what these are is individual CDs, and they're actually 2 CD sets, which come with a bonus EP of rarities. Like this, like if you want to get like a really cool Queen set, these 3 sets are the ones that I would go for if I was you. I don't know if they have anything newer, but they're actually 2 disc sets, and you got 1 disc that is the original album remastered, and then you get the second disc, which is like all rarities, B-sides, live concert stuff. I'm looking at remixes, stereo remixes. There's a couple of songs live from Tokyo. This one over here has some live stuff. This is the game one. Some live stuff. It's got solo stuff, B-sides, 1981 cuts. I mean, these things are awesome. Like, if you are a big Queen fan, these are the sets you probably want to go for. And these are the 40th anniversary. It also has a soundtrack to Flash Gordon. And not only is that cool, but you do get you get a bonus one of that. You get a bonus disc of the rarities and B-sides and instrumentals and stuff like that, because Queen did a lot of the instrumental stuff for the Flash Gordon movie, which, my friends, if you have never seen the Flash Gordon, I'm a big Flash Gordon movie fan, okay? I love that movie. That's one of my childhood favorites next to the original Clash of the Titans. I put those side by side. Matter of fact, they're side by side right over there in my collection. So yeah, these sets, I'm not going to break them all down for you, but they are 2 disc sets, and they are phenomenal. They all come with a poster. They all come with they're all 2 discs, and if you have all 3, you have everything officially that Freddie Mercury put out, like every single thing. I'm gonna go to the last one here, because the other cool thing about that, I think it ends with like Miracle or Innuendo or whatever. But yeah, if you have all of them, you have the complete work. So they call this thing the Deluxe Edition Queen's Classic Albums. Each include a bonus disc, features the rarities. This one has the works, A Kind of Music, The Miracle, Innuendo, Made in Heaven. Also includes a bonus poster. This one I don't have the J card on the back, so I'm not going to break that down for you. I move these out of the way. And this one I also do not have the J card. That's another reason why I keep the plastic on. Those I bought used, I will tell you. I bought these used because I do think they're going for a little bit on eBay. I'm pretty sure the flippers are having a field day with both that Velvet box set thing and these sets, because I'll tell you right now, I can't think of anything more complete than these individual sets. So if you are a Queen fan and you want to invest the money, I would invest your money into these. Now, I'll save the movies, the Blu-rays stuff for last. Next we have live stuff. Okay, this is all the live stuff that I have by Queen. So we have number 1 here, Queen at the BBC. Let me see, I'll stack these up this way. We have Queen Sold Out. This is Live at the Rainbow 1974. And this is a 2-disc set. Nice little digibook there. Most of these are 2-disc sets, with the exception of, I think, 1 or 2, and I'll tell you what they are when they are. This is also a 2-disc set. Queen on Fire, Live at the Bowl. 2-disc set. This one is this a single one? Yes, this is a single one. This is just Queen Live Magic. And then we have the 2-disc Queen Killers, which this is probably the more notable one, that if you are a Queen fan, you probably have this one in your collection if you're not, if you didn't buy like a whole bunch of stuff. Then for some reason I have 2 versions of Queen, A Night in Odeon. I hope I'm saying that right, Odeon. This one, if I remember correctly, this was an error where I ordered 1 and they shipped me 2. I don't know why, but that's what happened. They ordered 1 and shipped me 2, and I'll tell you, both of these are sealed because I was able to actually download these prior. So for the people that say, you need, it's a crime for you not to open up your media. Well, these are mint, and I don't know what they're going for in value, but when I pass away, my kids can go and sell them hopefully all on a set. I really hope that when I pass, they don't break up my sets. I hope they realize that there's a method to my madness, and I am a completist. So you please make sure you try to find all the records. Okay, this message to my children and my wife. Please try to find all the records, all the toys, all of the stuff. I mean, because I even have little Freddie. Actually, I should have grabbed that one. I got one on my desk. A little Freddie Mercury about this big that's worth a lot of money that came from Japan. I bought it like real cheap, like a long, long time ago. Still in the box, brand new. But for some reason, it was made in Japan, and they only made so many of them, and it's like one of those foreign, tough to get figures or whatever. It's just a little Freddie Mercury. He's about this big. He's actually smaller than like a little bigger than a G.I. Joe, smaller than a NECA figure. And then we have Queen Rock Montreal, which I will tell you I did pick up. I didn't bring those out there. There's a couple. I'll say so. There's a couple of see. This is why my family's gonna have to look around, because I actually bought a Blu-ray and a 4K set of this Queen Rock Montreal, because they released a 4K and a Blu-ray set separately, and this is one of those things where I'm such a fan, I had to make sure I had the 4K and the Blu-ray, but for some reason they didn't put the 4K. It wasn't a combo, so I had to buy them separately, and the 4K is still sealed, the Blu-ray is open. But yeah, we got Queen Rock Montreal 2-disc set, and then the iconic, and I would have to maybe debatable or not debatable, what I say next to like a Live Aid, which I also have Live Aid over there too. I didn't pull that out either because, I mean, it is Queen related, but it is also related to a whole bunch of other stuff. But they did perform at the Live Aid concert, which I got to tell you was unbelievable. But Queen live at Wembley 1986, is that right? Right, 1986, which is probably my favorite live Queen album. Okay, so to get all these Queen live stuff out of the way, I will go this way with that. And then I picked up this. This was I think one of my most recent Queen pickups. Queen on Air, which this is the radio collection. This is on in this box set, so it's like this big, like, I don't know how many discs we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it six discs? Sorry, six discs in a book. Sorry, 6 discs in a book. And this is the Queen radio collection. And on this thing we have includes alternate versions of the classic Queen takes from wow, my eyes. Stone Cold, Liar, We Will Rock You. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Let me see. And then we have, on the second one is Live on Air, highlights from 3 concert broadcasts. And it's a concert from 73, a concert from 1981, a concert from 1986. And then we have on the next CD disc, 4, 5, and 6 is over 3.5 hours of radio interviews with all 4 band members. Okay, so this is, to me, was a rarity. This was one of those, this is a guilty pleasure one, because what you got here is you got some concert stuff that was recorded probably for the BBC, and then we got some other stuff that is just interviews with Freddie and the group, all 4 original members. So I got this, and yes, listen, although the plastic is on, not to confuse everybody, it's open, okay? It's open, it's been downloaded. It just, the plastic protects it. I'm a big keep the plastic on the things to protect the things. And then so that's officially the end of my Queen collection. But I did pick up this, which is a little bit sought after, a little hard to get. And this is actually the Freddie Mercury solo collection. He only released a couple of songs, and they were operatic. The first one is Mr. Bad Guy and Barcelona, which he sings like almost like an operatic thing with a woman. And this is a 1-disc set, and then the first one, Mr. Bad Guy, which is like his main solo album, comes with a bonus album of like rarities, B-sides, and stuff like that, a bonus CD. And then the other one is just the Barcelona album. Comes with a booklet. Okay, it's but this one, I think, had more than one version. I think there's a bigger version of this that I did not get because I think it's even more money. But this one's a little sought after because I don't think people are aware that Freddie Mercury even put out solo albums. I didn't only think maybe a lot of people don't even know that. I didn't know at the time. I thought, Queen was Queen. It's always stayed Queen. I didn't know that Freddie did side projects, but I found out. All right, so let's get to the Blu-rays, 4Ks, and DVDs. And I'll go very quick with this. And listen, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please share the video. Share it. Watch it to its entirety. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And for that viewer that inspired me to get off my butt and go make a real special video for Friday night, because they were like, I'm looking forward to Friday night's video. And listen, I appreciate that. I'll tell you, I looked at my wife yesterday when I was either yesterday or the day before when I got that message. And I looked at my wife and I said, this is the stuff that keeps me going. These are the viewers that keep me getting up every day and making these videos. The fact that I got people that look forward to the weekends just to see me put on a video like this and do stuff like that. Listen, I understand. Listen, this might not have been I'm not up here juggling. You know, I could be here juggling knives or whatever. I could be. I've always tried to figure out what this channel should have been for me to get so many subscribers. Because, you know, you got like those Mr. Beasts, and you got like those guys that like torture themselves, so they hit themselves with things or whatever, or they're doing tricks or whatever. Listen, I'm not a dog and pony show. You know what I mean? I do what I do. I try to help you guys out. I give you information on physical medias, toys, and nostalgic things. I tell you stories about my personal life. And like I said, this Queen set was inspired because not only did the viewers say, I really like Queen, and I did get a couple of comments from people saying, oh, I went to go see Queen back in 1981, I think it was. And I was like, well, listen, I envy you. I never had a chance to see Queen live. And let me make that, strike that, reverse that. I had a chance to see Queen live, but not Queen with Freddie Mercury. And I was like, no. Like, literally, my wife was like, Queen's coming around. You want to see Queen? I'm like, no. I don't, because that's not Queen. I don't want, unless you plan on getting Freddie up there. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm at a point right now, I probably would have even been able to deal with a virtual Freddie. You know how they did I know that they had a live concert for a while in Las Vegas with Elvis, and they had the real Elvis band playing backup, and they had almost like a CGI or projected Elvis on stage, and they had like this big concert where it was like it was a band, a concert that Elvis had already done, but they had the live band playing behind Elvis while Elvis sang in almost like a Obi-Wan Kenobi type setup there, you know. And I'm like, I would tolerate that. I would go pay to see that, or a Michael Jackson one, or a David Bowie. I would go see that. That I would pay to go see. But I'm not. I wasn't going for the new lead singer. I wasn't going for it. Like I said, that's why you won't find any Queen as of right now in this collection, because I don't know, is Adam Lambert, he's the lead singer of Queen now? Is that who it is? The guy from they win American Idol or something like that? I'm pretty sure he's an American Idol winner. Okay, and I'm like, listen, there's only one lead singer of Queen, and it was Freddie Mercury, and that's it. All right, so my DVDs, 4Ks, Blu-rays. Okay, start off with Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes, I know this was the movie. I got that one, and I got the Target exclusive. This is the 4K Blu-ray digital, and this is just the Blu-ray, because this is the one I watch, and this is the one I don't watch. Matter of fact, for my people that hate my guts, still sealed. It's still sealed. It's a digibook. Comes with a booklet, a poster, and all kinds of other stuff, and I'll never see the inside of it. This is a 2-disc set because I'm a collector, and I watch the Blu-ray. I don't watch the 4K. I'm not a 4K person, and I wanted them both because this was a Target exclusive. If you don't know, Target don't even sell 4Ks, Blu-rays, or DVDs anymore. So, yeah. So if you catch me watching Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm going to be watching it on Blu-ray. And I will tell you, out of all of the live action, story, what would you call them? Biopics, okay? Because we had the Elton John one, we had the Freddie Mercury one, we now have the Bruce Springsteen one, which I have not seen yet, but I'm planning on going to see that soon. I actually want to see that. We had the Bob Dylan one. I will tell you, out of all of them that I have seen so far, I would put Bohemian Rhapsody up there in probably the top one of the top tier, because we've also had we had the Elvis one. That one was pretty good too. I'll put that one in top 5 or top 10 of the more recent one. Listen, do me a favor, comment below if you know any other rock star biopics that I might be leaving out. Now let me tell you that, like, I do have the one from the original lead singer Jones from the Rolling Stones. I got his. I do have I got quite a bit. I do have the Bob Dylan one. I do have the Elton John one. I got quite a few, but hey, shoot me out. Listen, comments help with the algorithm too. So comment below if you've ever seen like a good biopic on a actor, where an actor plays the person. And listen, I'll tell you, there was one of them that I saw that people really loved. I thought was a little bit of it was Kurt Russell played Elvis in an Elvis movie, and I got to tell you, I had a hard time because I was like, that Kurt Russell. I'm sorry, but that's Kurt Russell. It's gonna listen. That's Kurt Russell. You can't fool me. I'm not. He did like. I got to tell you, there's another one that I saw not too long ago. Like, I might have been the Bob Dylan one where I was so caught up on the fact that he just played Wonka, or he had just played Wonka. I'm like, that's Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka be Bob Dylan. What's going on here? You know what I mean? So some of them I can't get out of my mind. This Bruce Springsteen one, I want to see it so bad because I am a Bruce Springsteen fan, but I will tell you that I'm kind of torn because I don't think the guy that's playing Bruce Springsteen looks like Bruce Springsteen. I think he's shorter and less masculine as Bruce Springsteen. And Bruce Springsteen, I mean, he's got that face, that Bruce Springsteen, like, listen, I don't know about you, but tell me that when Bruce Springsteen really gets into it back in the day when he used to sing, he looked like he might have been constipated. He always had that constipated face. Even when he did was it We Are the World? When he did his part, he's like, "We are the world." You know, he had that face like he was trying to squeeze out a crap. You know what I mean? Listen. Nothing against Bruce. I love Bruce's music. I love watching him live. I love everything about Bruce Springsteen, except for the prices of his overpriced box sets. I love everything about him. But yeah, when Bruce gets into his stuff, man, on top of his like 2-hour-long speeches that he likes to do during his shows, when he's singing and he's really getting into it, he looks like me on the toilet when I can't get one when one ain't coming out and I'm pushing. I'm pushing hard. All right. Sorry, I off track. This happens. This is why these videos get so long. I get off track. Now I'm picturing Bruce over there going, "We are the world. We are the children." You know, everybody else was nice and calm and mellow. You know, except when we got to the Cyndi Lauper, like, well. I hope you appreciate my Cyndi Lauper impression there. All right, so we have Queen Live in Rio DVD. Now, a lot of these, what's cool is the memories of these things. As I'm picking them up, the memories are starting to flood in a little bit because I picked this up at a Newberry Comics that went out of business. And I remember just seeing this on the shelf and I was like, what is this? Queen Live in Rio. Don't have it. It was put out by a company. I don't even know that. It doesn't even say the name of the company. It does have a barcode, so it's legit. I mean, I don't know. Some of these things might be worth a lot of money. I don't know because I don't resell anything. But it had like all the big hits on it. As Tie Your Mother Down. It's got let me see. Wow. Let me throw in Hammer to Fall. So this is like Bohemian Rhapsody, Radio Gaga, I Want to Break Free, We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, God Save the Queen. It's 59. It's an hour's worth of Queen live stuff. I never seen it before. The cover caught my eye. Then we have Queen, We Will Rock You, which is in digital THX surround sound. This was a big deal back in the day that it was in digital THX surround sound. I believe THX was owned by Steven Spielberg or one of those big. Is THX Steven Spielberg or the guy that did there's Steven Spielberg, the two big guys. George Lucas. It's George Lucas, isn't it? THX was Star Wars, right? This is a comment below where we're at here. I believe one of those two guys, I believe it was George Lucas. I think I was wrong with Steven Spielberg. George Lucas, his light and sound team or whatever were the ones that came up with the THX surround sound, and that was like a big deal for DVDs back in the day. And then we have Queen at the Rainbow, which is pretty much just the soundtrack of the what do you call it? Actually, I will tell you, this comes with the DVD. I believe I bought this again. Yeah. Okay, so that other one, that other Queen at the Rainbow that I showed you, that I have two of, come with the Blu-ray and the soundtrack. This is just the DVD in a small packaging. And then we have Queen, Rock Montreal, and Live Aid. So what's cool about this one is, and I was excited about this, is that they put the Live at Montreal concert and they put the Live Aid concert, which is I was talking about earlier, how I didn't pull out the whole Live Aid show because I didn't want to pull it out because I didn't really think of it as totally Queen related. They took the Live Aid show and they put it on here because it was listen, the Live Aid show is the one where Freddie Mercury does that. He does that like, oh my friends, look it up on YouTube, okay? Queen, I think it's right before he does is it I Want to Break Free? No, it's not I Want to Break Free. Radio Gaga. It's okay. So it's right before he does Radio Gaga. I did that without even looking at the back. I can't see back. I can't read the things back there anyway. But right before he does Radio Gaga live at Live Aid. Okay, so look it up on YouTube and listen to him interact with the crowd prior to that song. He does this like octave, and this was like when he knew he had HIV and AIDS and everything, and he was like, they wanted him to do Live Aid, and he was like, his voice was not where it was supposed to be, and he was like scared to death of doing it, but he kind of felt like he needed to do it because it might have been the last time. There's a whole big history of him doing Live Aid, and he, hands down, Queen stole Live Aid. To me, that personally, you guys might be fans of a whole bunch of other. Actually, I really love the Boomtown Rats. I'm a little bit of a Boomtown. If you don't know who the Boomtown Rats are, look them up too. Check them out. It's actually, if you ever seen Pink Floyd The Wall, the guy that plays Pink in Pink Floyd The Wall is the lead singer of the Boomtown Rats. He's also the guy that started Live Aid. But the Queen stole the show at Live Aid, and I think that's why they took this and made this actually this set. But you got to see. Look up. I think it'll probably be before Radio Gaga or just Queen interacting Live Aid or whatever or something like that on YouTube, and you will hear something like you've never. Matter of fact, when I play it on TV, I crank the thing right up, and me and my daughter, we sit there, we literally try to do the ew, 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 ew. It's like a whole thing, and it's inspired by Freddie Mercury's amazing voice. Then we got Queen live, Queen on Fire live at the Bowl. Like I said, a lot of these I have the CDs to go with them, because like here we go right here, we got Queen live at Wembley Stadium, and who doesn't miss this stuff? You know, I know these are DVDs because they didn't get a Blu-ray set, but who doesn't miss like these whole like double pack jobs? You know what I mean? Like where you get like the one disc on one side, one disc on the other side, and then you get a booklet, of course. There we go. You got a cool booklet inside that usually has a bunch of cool stuff inside. You know, you don't get that with the 4K anymore. You know, listen, you don't even get it with the Blu-ray anymore. I miss that kind of stuff. I miss that kind of. I almost feel like they're like at a point where they're like, hey, you got your 4K. We polished it up. That's good enough. Here you go. Take that, and we'll give you no special features. We'll give you no nothing. You're gonna leave a happy boy. Just shut the hell up and take what you got. You know what I mean? That's how I felt with that Nightmare on Elm Street box set that everybody's all excited about. I'm like, listen, please, next year, give me the damn night. I know it's going to happen, okay? Well, I'm going to go be looking in the glow-in-the-dark section over at my local Walmart, and there's going to be the basic Nightmare on Elm Street 4K box set, and it's going to be like $40 or $60. That's when I'm going to buy it. Or, besides that, there's no way I'm dropping $300, actually $300 to $500 right now on eBay for a steel book that looks like a sweatshirt, and I'm not gonna drop $100 or $120 on the basic just 4K with no Blu-ray, you know, because it's not gonna be my go-to ever. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to have my collection if it's just the 4K. So there's my little rant on that. I like to throw at least one of those rants on it. I'm really upset about the fact that I love Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and you give us beautiful box sets like Friday the 13th and Halloween and 4K Blu-ray combo packs and all kinds of bonus features with Horror's Hollow Grounds, and you get filming locations, you get behind the scenes, you get interviews with the cast, you get Comic-Con interviews where they got the whole cast sitting up on the stage. You get all this crazy stuff, and then here we go. We waited years and years and years to finally get an upgrade on our Blu-ray Nightmare on Elm Street box set. What you give us is the movies that have been upgraded in 4K with nothing. No interview with Robert Englund. No interview with Lancaster. No, they're all alive. You give us nothing. You gave us nothing. What you gave us was a box that looks like a shirt, and then a cheaper box that looks exactly like the Blu-ray set with a slipcover on it. I don't know. My opinion. Listen, you guys, I know a lot of you guys are really happy. I think you're in one of those things where I was when I got my Bruce Springsteen gigantic box set, where I was talking myself into being happy. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the best. It's 4K. Yeah. $300, $400, $500. I had to work like how long? A week. I had to work. I had to be away from my family and work a entire week to pay for that one box set. And I got the 4Ks. Ooh, but boy, did they look beautiful. no extra stuff, but boy, they look beautiful. Anyway, then we have Hungarian Rhapsody, Queen live in Budapest. Look at that one. Once again, these are all 2-disc sets. This one is actually like a digibook type thing. Oh, it's a 3-disc set. They threw a 3rd disc in there. Why we got a 3-disc? We got DVD. Oh, God. I'll tell you why. Because we got DVD, which is the concert, and then we got the CDs, the 2 CDs. So this is, I gotta put this in plastic. Remind me later. And then we have the last but not least, Queen's Greatest Hits Volume 1 and Volume 2, which are all of the Queen videos. Every Queen video you might have ever grown up with on MTV or VH1. Yeah, remember VH1, everybody? Remember MTV? Remember when MTV ruled the world and we actually got to see music videos on MTV? Now we got to search them on YouTube because MTV is not a thing anymore and VH1 is not a thing anymore. But those were better days. I'm going to end it with this. First of all, I appreciate you. Thank you for commenting and opening my eyes to being the fact that there are people that want to see a bigger show on a Friday and Saturday. I mean, that's what I promised. That's what I should deliver. But I do have to keep some of them a little minimalized. It's for me to try to support my family. I'm trying to support my family here. I'm making YouTube videos, and I've already explained to you the financial situation with YouTube. Okay, it's literally pennies. Okay, I'm getting pennies. So if you can support, please. There's stuff in the descriptions. There's little Venmo symbols that pop up every once in a while. I like to put them up there to see if somebody will give me something or do something, whatever, just out of appreciation. Like I said, I ain't looking for you to mortgage your house and hand me $1,000, but it would be cool to see a buck show. Who would want to be walking down the street one day, or me? I'll probably be somewhere with my wife. Well, I'll probably be sitting somewhere, and all of a sudden I hear that I got my thing set up so it goes cha-ching when I get a Venmo delivery or whatever. So it goes cha-ching. And when I get a cha-ching, I'm like, ooh, I don't know about you, my heart stops. I go on the phone and I'm like, and usually what it is like my kid just paid me for like buying pizza or buying hey dad, we're gonna go to McDonald's or Wendy's or pick me up something where I'll Venmo you a couple of dollars. That's usually when I get a Venmo. And besides that, there ain't no Venmos coming my way. But I do have a Venmo, so the thing will be over here if you want to help. But like I said, that it would just be kind of cool to see like $1 drop in there. I'd be like $1 from some random person that took the time to send me $1. And then that, to me, that would mean a lot. So yeah, this was inspired for a few things. Number one, I was reflecting on my friend, and I was also reflecting on you guys, and I was like, I want to give you guys what you want, and being the fact that my friend that passed was such a big Queen fanatic. I mean, he could sing. He was also a singer in the band at the church. So he was a singer, and I didn't even know he was a singer. The funny thing is, I worked with this man I think for like 6, 7, 8 years or something like that, and he never told me that he was a singer. He never told me that he sang in a band. He never like forced his beliefs on me either, which was another amazing thing, because I would be sitting there with this guy and I'd be swearing up a storm, talking all kinds of stuff, saying all these nasty, disgusting, filthy things and everything. And you would think that somebody that was like so like into religion and all like God this and God that and God this, like on the outside, he would have been like, hey, let's put the brakes on there because every word out of your mouth is fa, floor, and filth. You know what I mean? And I'm like, but he never did that. The man never judged me. He accepted me for being me. And I think that's what made him like a real good friend to me, because, all of the horror stories I told him as me as a child and things I had to go through and the things that I was going through in my life in general and in the past and even in the workplace. I mean, he was my boss, but he had a boss. So there's like, he was a supervisor, but he had a boss on top of him. You know what I mean? So it was like, as a matter of fact, he got fired before I left because why the man was fired? I'll tell you. Listen, it was crazy because we had a guy that came in one night, and at the time I was a union representative. I was a shop steward, okay, which is the guy that's right underneath the union president. You get the union president, you get the vice president, and then you have the shop steward who handles the guys. I handled the guys. So if the guys had an issue, they came up to me, said, listen, I need to bring this in front of the union. I need you to take care of this. And then I would have to go to union meetings and almost be like the lawyer. I was like the lawyer of the group, okay? So what happened was we had a guy come in one night drunk. Like he could barely stand up. And this guy who was my friend and the supervisor, what he did was, instead of sending the guy home because he knew that the guy was, the guy's wife just threw him out. He was going through rough time in his life. This guy was just self-destructed. And the thing is, he wasn't even really a nice guy either. He was like a backstabbing, real like rough guy that was like, he was a nasty man, a real nasty guy. But my supervisor was such a good guy. He he wanted to help him. He didn't want the guy to lose his job because he would have lost his job. Okay, this guy was drunk. I mean, he couldn't even stand up. My supervisor actually had to put him in a chair. So what happened was that the guy came in drunk, and the supervisor goes, listen, I'm not going to send you home. I know you need the money. I'm not going to send you home. You're going to get fired. You're going to get 3 days suspension, then you're probably going to get fired for coming in intoxicated. So what I'm going to have you do is sit down over there. Okay, just go sit down. Kind of sleep it off, or get out. Even bought the guy coffee. Even bought the guy coffee, and he had the other workers bring in this guy cups of coffee to try to sober him up. So my supervisor ran his machine for him the entire night while this guy was drunk and trying to sober up. And because in a union, you can't have supervisors running the machines, what happened was the next day, a couple of other union members that were wanted overtime and that were PO. They were pissed off because they wanted the overtime. So what their intentions were like, listen, they were like, well, if this guy would have went home, then they would have called me in early, or they would have had me stay late. So they would have got overtime. They wanted their overtime. They wanted to fill their pockets. They didn't care about the guy that was intoxicated. They didn't care about the supervisor losing the job. All they cared about was themselves. They wanted to make sure they were making more money. And these guys were already making a ton of money. These were the guys that said never said no to overtime. Listen, they wanted to be there 12. They hated their families this much that they wanted to be there 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day. They would live there. I mean, as a matter of fact, I had one guy that literally on Christmas Day, I was leaving there in the morning because I worked third shift. It was Christmas morning, and I was leaving the place, and he was going in to put carpets in the office of the big bosses. He was such an ass kisser. This was the same kind of guy that would go wash the boss's boat on the weekends for extra money, and he would go, listen, but he did. Listen, I can understand if you needed it, but he didn't need it. This guy didn't need it. His house was paid for. So I lived with a lot of Portuguese guys. Pay for everything, cash money. I pay cash money for everything. I know. I cash money. My house worth $1 million. I pay $50,000 cash money when I come over here from the old country and all of that crap. And it's like these guys did not need the money. They were just money hungry, greedy buggers. Matter of fact, there's still people that I know from the place where I used to work that now they're in like their late 80s and they're still working. They're still working crazy hours, 2 jobs at like 80 something. I'm like, you must really hate your family that much. I mean, and this guy in particular is funny because he hates his wife. Hates her with a passion. He'll tell you. You ask her, hey, how you feel about your wife? I hate her. But he won't divorce her because he's afraid she's gonna take half. She's afraid he's been with this woman for, I gotta say, probably about 40 years. Hates her guts. Matter of fact, when they go out shopping, he makes her sit in the back seat because he can't even stand looking at her. He's told me that. He goes, she sits in the back seat. He goes, because I don't want her sitting on the side of me because I don't want to even look at her because I hate her. But I can't divorce her because she's going to take half my stuff. Listen, to me, that is no way to live. I could not understand it. They hated me because I would turn down overtime because I loved my family and I wanted to spend time with my family. If I needed the money for Christmas, I took it. Okay, if I needed the money to pay for stuff for my family, I took it. I had to pay bills, I took it. But besides that, I never took it to get like extra gain or to take something away from somebody. I was like, give it to somebody that really needs it. Give it to somebody. Listen, I don't need it right now. I got enough. I'm surviving. I got the necessities. Give it to somebody else. I don't want to be here 12 hours a day. I don't want to be here 7 days a week. I'll take Saturday and Sunday off and go to the park or whatever, or the beach with my kids. That's what I want to do because life is too short, and you guys can't grasp that concept. So yeah, they pretty much hated me. So, but the deal was that the supervisor ran the machine that night, and the next day the union president comes over to me and he goes, "Hey, what happened last night?" And me being union representative, honest guy, I'm like, well, we the supervisor came in and the other guy, he goes, was the what's his name intoxicated? I'm like, yeah. I said, yeah, he couldn't even stand up. I said, yeah, he was a mess. Thinking that, I understand that the union needs to protect but there's maybe my moral value was not like I protected those guys so hard. Yeah, I had one guy that broke the machine one time. He left a wrench on the machine. The belts went through. The machine broke, and they suspended him for 3 days for breaking so many $1 million machine. And I I had a case that I had to go to. I had to go to a hearing. The guy couldn't even go to a hearing. Used to sell seafood out of the back of a truck. So he's like, I can't go to the hearing. You go for me. You get me my 3 days. I want to get paid or whatever. And I'm like, so I go to the hearing and I stand up for this guy and I get him 2 days paid. And I come back and he's mad at me. And he's mad at me. He's like, hey, well, hey, shop stupid. Instead of calling me shop steward, you go, hey, shop stupid. How come you only get me 2 days pay? I trust you. They give me 3 days suspension for break the machine. You don't get me my 3 days pay. You only get me 2 days pay. And I looked at the guy. I looked him like dead in the eyes, and I go, listen, number one, you didn't show up to the union meeting. You didn't show up to the meeting to defend yourself. I had to defend you without even knowing all the facts, and I got you 2 days. And I looked at him. I go, did you break the machine? He goes, oh, yeah, I left the wrench on top of the machine. I turned the machine on. I don't pay attention to the wrench. So you broke the damn machine, okay? You broke $1 million machine. I stuck up for you. I got you paid for 2 days while you know, and you should be fired. And you're calling me names and telling me I'm stupid and telling me I didn't get you. Listen, you got paid for 2 days for breaking a machine. You didn't get fired. You should be thanking me, not calling me shop stupid, calling me stupid and dumb or whatever. Listen, this is just the abuse that I've had to go through my entire life. But you know what? I still did my job. I still stood up for the guy. I still did what I was supposed to do. Unfortunately, the repercussion from the whole thing was my friend that looked out for me, my probably the best friend I had at that plant, they fired him. They fired him as a supervisor because he ran the machine that night and took the overtime away from other workers. Like regular workers, not like union workers, not supervisors. And to me, in my heart, I was like, he just helped a union member out. Like if you guys really care about each other as a union, you got to realize that guy that was drunk that night, he would have got fired if this guy didn't run his machine for him. He would have got sent home. He would have lost pay. He would have got fired. I couldn't defend him for being drunk. You know, he was drunk. Okay, they had cameras all over the place. This guy was a mess. This supervisor did nothing but try to help this guy to keep his job. And he was honest when the company went up to him and the union went up to him and said, listen, did you run that machine? Was the guy intoxicated? Listen, I was honest because I'm an honest person. And he was honest. And he said, yes, I did. I ran the machine for him because he was intoxicated and I didn't want him to lose his job. And literally the next day, he got his last paycheck and they let him go. And I got to say, like 2 months after that, I left. I went back to college. I went back to school to become a teacher, a preschool teacher. I went back to college. I actually went to the company and I went to the union and I said to the company, I said, listen, I've been working for you guys 15 years. 15 years I've been here. I never miss any days. I don't take any time off. I'm here. I work overtime. I said, I want you to let me go, let me collect, and let me go to college. Okay. The other thing is that they wanted me out of there anyway because I was a union representative. So of course the company was like, yeah, let's get rid of this guy because he is a threat. Okay, I was a threat because I did not lose any of my cases. Okay, I'm also a guy who does a lot of research and I care a lot. So when I was a union representative, if somebody got in trouble for something, I did my research. Okay, I knew where all the cameras were in that place. I knew what they had on these people and what they didn't have on these people. I knew what I could come up with. Listen, I literally had to be like a non-educated lawyer to get these people out of different situations, and I did a great job at it. I did it for listen, I was reelected 3 times within the 15 years that I was working for that company. I was the shop steward, and I stayed being a shop steward. There was no challenge against me because I knew my stuff, and I worked there long enough to know I was friendly with the bosses enough to understand what was going on, but not so friendly that I was like gonna screw over a worker. You know what I mean? But if a worker was a threat to another person, like we had one forklift driver that came in, he was drunk one time, and he actually drove the forklift into somebody and knocked the guy over, hit him in the hip. The guy was on the ground in pain and everything like that. And I was like, there's no debate in this. We got film footage. We got a drunk guy driving around with a forklift. I don't know how a forklift weighs or whatever, but you get hit by a forklift. There's no argument there. I can't debate this with you, my friend. You're an idiot. You shouldn't have came in drunk. You definitely should be operating a vehicle full of people walking around drunk with carrying around things where you can't see, you can't do things. Listen, it was a tough. My life has been crazy. Okay, it's been a crazy ride. And as I'm getting older, And now I'm doing this, and I'm trying to hustle to make money here and there on the side and everything to try to support my family. I'm starting to realize that, damn, man, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of crap, you know what I mean? And on top of that, so I went right from, prior to doing that, I was unloading trucks on for Levi's and Bugle Boy Jean Company. I was the backroom supervisor and the backroom stock boy, and I was unloading these trucks, and that was my job, just unloading trucks, opening things up, tagging them, putting them away on the shelves. That was my job prior to that. And then after I did that, I worked at a place I made surgical supplies, and I was a short order cook, a dishwasher, a cashier, and the cleanup guy. Okay, and I did all of that stuff, and I had a second job working for Record Town at my local mall, where because I'm so knowledgeable about movies and music and all that stuff like that. That was one of my favorite jobs, because I was so knowledgeable about music and movies and stuff like that. And that was when Arsenio Hall was big, so I used to get like these really cool people that used to come in and be like, "Hey, I saw this band last night in Arsenio Hall," and I was like, "Yeah, I saw Arsenio Hall last night. Do you have the CD of the band that was playing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. They're right over there. There it is." Okay. Hey, and I have a little conversation and everything. I love talking music. I love talking movies. That's my thing. So yeah, I would work from 6 o'clock in the morning at that job and get out of there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, go to the other job at 4, go home and change, shower, go to the other job at 4, work there till 10 o'clock at night and close the place. And then I went from there to working at the bakery. That's the one where I lasted for a year, where they fired me because my child was born. And then I worked for 14 years at that mill, where I was a shop steward and a forklift operator, and ran 3 or 4 of the machines. And then after that, I did preschool for 14 years until I started realizing that child care, the word care is not in child care anymore. Now it's like the only people that care are some of the teachers, and it doesn't mesh right if you got different beliefs than the people that own the place. So damn, it's been a long, tiring ride. And right now in my life, like the doctor and the therapist keep saying I'm supposed to be doing self-care. To me, this is my self-care. This is my self-care. Okay, making these videos, enjoying you guys' comments, and having some fun doing it. Okay, this is fun. And I would like to start a child's channel, so I did start a GoFundMe, and I'm hoping that I'm looking for like $1,300. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for $1,300 to start a children's channel with moral fundamentals and like regular education, like the ABCs, the numbers, and stuff like that. I want to keep teaching, but I'm starting to realize that I am not able to be bossed, or I can't have a boss. I can't have a supervisor. I can't have somebody micromanaging my imagination. Does that make sense? I can't. That's what it is. Okay, I can't have somebody micromanaging my imagination. When I go with something and I know that it's good for the kids, and I know that it's going to teach them and educate them and whatever it's going to be, I need to go with it. So I'm thinking my best outlet is another YouTube channel, a YouTube channel of children. I could be the next Mr. Rogers. I could be the next whoever, person that actually educates children, not give them this mind full of garbage that they'll take nothing from. That's why this world's getting a little bit messed up. That's why a lot of kids have a lot of issues and stuff like that. I'm just starting to realize that the stuff that the kids are like, I watch my granddaughter playing games and what she watches on the tablet and YouTube and stuff like that, and I'm like, where's the educational purpose of this? Like, what is she going to learn from that? She's smart as a whip, don't get me wrong, but I think she's smart as a whip because all of my children are child care providers and preschool teachers. You know what I mean? Except for one, and she's got a supportive family and a supportive grandfather and grandmother that that put a lot of time and effort into educating her on things. So that's why she's smart. She ain't smart from staring into these boxes, and learning nothing. You know what I mean? Anyway, medication time, gentlemen, medication time. Anyway, with that said, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And I will see you. Hey, my friend that left a comment, I hope you appreciate this because this one's for you. And I will see you later. You should have saved me some.